Hello, welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. It's Gaming Friday. I'm Gary.
And I'm here to chew bubblegum and play video games, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Well, today we're taking a look at Kingdom Come Deliverance, which came out on the 13th of February 2018. It was developed by Warhorse Studios, which is a Czech company, and this is their only game to date. And the company was actually formed back in 2011. It's running on the CryEngine. Well done, Ian.
Yes!
We're not even 60 seconds into the video and you've died.
That is amazing. I looked at that little hardcore mode and I was just like, no, yeah, really? And
It began with a sore throat and fever and ended with distraught parents and funeral bells. That year, the Scarlet Fever took many young lives, not only yours.
Oh, hells yes, game.
So, oh wait, you survived childbirth at least. Medieval life, Ian, is full of uncertainty and woes. Spring gives way to winter and the years, blah, 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 blah. And you have your cross to bear. Now you've got to select at least 2 negative perks that will stay with you the whole game.
Oh, amazing.
Ian, I can't believe you're putting this on survival mode.
Man, the game that people want it, yeah.
This game intimidated the whole... I mean, I've been a gamer for all my life. I've been playing since the Spectrum days, you know?
Yeah.
And this game, when there were certain points where I felt incredibly overwhelmed by the size of the map and the contents that were within it that I haven't experienced in an RPG game in so long.
Oh, yeah, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be somnambulant, which is a restless sleeper, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to have nightmares. Boom.
Oh,
nothing affects none, because all the others affect your stats. There's stamina ones, there's feeding, there's combat, lockpicking. You don't want that. You want to be able to. If I don't sleep at night, fuck that. I'll just steal from people. Yeah, carry on, Gary.
There's actually an achievement to play on survival mode with all of those negative perks active. People have done it. I think there's like 1% of people on the planet have actually done it.
I suppose that basically
Of those
just
that played the game.
Just life, isn't it? You have nightmares, you wander at night, and you've got tapeworm, brittle bones.
Yeah,
It's just life.
How do you survive this game? This game came out on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. It is an action role-playing game set in Bohemia. So we're looking at 15th century, the year 1403.
Wow, look at
this.
that.
This is like Bohemia's pre-Czech Republic.
Bohemia?
Yeah.
As in Rhapsody?
Well, yeah, I guess. And this is a Roman Empire controlled state, and this is an incredibly historically accurate location, characters and events that play out as you control Henry of Skalitz, who is a blacksmith's boy who, small spoilers, will be the only survivor of an invasion from the Cumans.
And the Cumans?
Yes.
Right, okay.
And now you will pretty much kind of fight and try and survive your way through an incredibly hostile and perilous time period.
Yeah.
As the most awkward, inept, backwards character I've ever played in a video game. Because this game is...
What did you expect from fucking 15th century Roman territory?
Well, exactly, yeah. You're a blacksmith's boy. You're not someone special, or are you? You know? And so, yeah, your character at the beginning can't wield a sword.
Yeah.
You can't
You
shoot.
gotta train,
You can't shoot a bow.
Yeah.
You can't even read.
It looks
your character can't read.
Amazing.
Well, yeah, like we said, this game's running on the CryEngine, which is, of course, the, Crytek, it's the Far Cry
engine,
Crisis engine.
I mean,
and, the developers, Warhorse, they were looking for a game engine back in, 2012, 13.
Yeah.
And they were like, what engine do we use? And they knew, who's the best for an RPG.
Yeah.
And when you think of RPG, you don't think CryEngine. You know? You think CryEngine for first-person glorious shooters.
Well, I mean, and the Far Cry worlds are really nice.
Yes,
they're just
but
run and gun shooters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they kind of had that tough choice of, they chose this engine because they wanted the game to look beautiful.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of forests and a lot of foliage, and they wanted it to look really good.
A lot of history. I mean, even I'm just looking at, like, I'm guessing this is mum and dad here.
Yes, yeah.
And I've just died, so I've got a bit of a connection to mum and dad here because they buried my brother, and they tried again, and I survived, and now they're gonna wake me up. I love the house, like.
the amazing thing about the locations that they built up in this game is that they are all based on real locations. Like I watched a documentary on the making of the game.
Yeah.
And the director of the game, he would also, I mean, he made the 2 Mafia games. And
Nice. Yeah.
obviously the game's set in what's now the Czech Republic, so they went to these locations that they chose for the map, and they painstakingly recreated those locations where when they were showing the real world locations, I was like, I've been there, I know exactly where that is in the game before the video showed me the location that was in the game. I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's seeped in real history, and I've not played a video game that's tried to capture that so well in so long that this whole game felt like a breath of fresh air. But I must also say that this game was an absolute fucking nightmare. 20 hours into this game, I was still playing it, and people say, "Oh, what are you playing?" I'm like, "I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance," and they're like, "Well, what do you think of it?" And I'm like, "It's fucking awful." And they're like, "Well, why are you playing it?" And I'm like, "Because I know that there is an amazing game in there, and I'm just kind of getting to it. I'm just getting over the hurdle of trying to get Henry to do the things that you expect to do in the Witcher games, you know?
When you play an RPG game, you don't play an RPG game for like 10 hours and go, I'm done. You play an RPG game
for 100 hours.
For over 100 hours and go, you know what? I've still got a few things to do.
Right.
You know?
Well, at this point, Ian, you're about to, this is your build your character. This is kind of, you decide the beginning strengths of Henry.
Well, I want to be a fighter because that's always the one you go to standard in an RPG. Is you go for
me,
fighting.
I didn't. I just double tapped speech. I was like, no, just speech skills.
And how'd that work out for you, Mr. 20 hours?
Not very well. unless I was talking to somebody.
Yeah, and they don't talk much in Roman era. Hey, I'm going to kill you. No, wait, whoa.
To be fair, the fighting aspect of this game only takes up about 5% of the entire game.
Yeah, but they will. But if it's as realistic as I think it is, a sword to the face is going to hurt.
Yes, yeah, it is.
So I want to be able to block, throw them back. But why would I be interested? Sword fighting, speech, no. Agility would be good for dodging, but health. So I'm going to shag Bianca.
So the development of this game, like I said, they started in 2011 after the lead programmer kind of left the company after Mafia 2.
Yeah.
Founded his own company and tried to get this game off the ground. He shopped it around to loads of studios, like to try and get financing, and they all looked at what their plan was for this game, and they went, nope, not a chance. This is not going to commercially work. Like, to the point where there was like 100 people working on this game, and they worked months without pay. They needed to hire staff in order to complete the game, and they were like, we can't pay you. Like, we've got no financing, no studios supporting us. And so they ended up going on to Kickstarter to try and make, I think it was like 300 grand.
Wow.
They ended up making $2 million on Kickstarter, which is still only a percentage of the total funds they actually went through to get this game made.
I love his arm. Wow. I also like the fact that it's not fully Skyrim-ish.
You're going to feel the Elder Scrolls Bethesda kind of influence on the game, because it is that kind of that old school Elder Scrolls vibe feel to the game. Where,
oh yeah, but I can't just like pick up everything.
No, you literally have to hover over it, like, and then
it's like in Skyrim I would have grabbed all these plates and moved them all
to go and sell them later.
Yeah.
So at the bottom of the screen right now, you can also see that you need that the icon on the left is your hunger icon.
Okay.
As that fills up and goes all the way to full, your stats are deteriorating over time.
So I'm guessing back. Oh no, I gotta go outside. Dad wants me. How do I bring up food? Is that in my inventory?
Yeah.
Oh! I just.
So as you can tell, this is a first-person RPG with a classless system. You kind of specialize in what you practice and how you play. So if you want to get better with a sword, you need to go and play with the sword. You need to fight with a sword, train with a sword. The first time you pick up a bow and arrow, you take a shot, it's going to land 4 feet in front of you. You'll have a hare or a rabbit that you're trying to shoot at, point blank range, and you will miss again and again and again because you just fumble your shots. So I call that sloppy joes.
Yeah.
And there are pots of sloppy joe throughout the land, in all the bars, in all the houses. You kind of go into the houses and have some food, have a meal. There are also, that's how you bathe.
Oh, wow. I'm going to wash myself.
Quickly wash yourself.
You won't get any cleaner washing a trough. For that, you need the baths.
So, you can go to the baths, and then you can get the wenches there to have sex with you, to patch up and clean your clothes, feed you and look after you. Of course, you're going to have to pay Groschen. This is the game's currency.
Grindstone. How do I bring up my satchel so I can eat an apple?
Is it the start button?
Start button?
No, it's not that button. The back button.
Back button? No, I have to go see Dad first.
Yeah. So you're the first.
This is still the tutorial
the first
opening, isn't it?
3 hours or so of the game is the tutorial.
Father, I am here, Father.
So he's going to kind of give you your first few tasks.
Yeah.
It's going to basically, you're just going to be learning the basics, how dialogue works, how to navigate the environment, interact with other NPCs.
How big's the map? I mean, like, how long would it take you to walk from one corner to the other?
An hour maybe.
Yeah.
Of course, you can get on horseback. The map is pretty big, and on the standard difficulty, you can also fast travel once you've unlocked the fast travel gates. And during fast travel events, you'll also encounter, your random encounters.
Oh, nice.
On the standard difficulty, there are waypoints or way markers on the map. It doesn't pinpoint exactly where you are. It kind of goes, it's here in this general vicinity of where you need to be. This game doesn't handhold you, and that's what I like. Is that you get into combat and you don't just keep pressing X until everything's dead.
Oh shit!
Getting into the combat in this game is a challenge, and a lot of people turned off this game because of the combat mechanics.
Really?
You can't just pick up a sword and go around decapitating people. If you've jumped to this game from The Witcher 3, you're going to have a real bad day.
I haven't actually. So this is all new to me.
I kind of did, but I knew when I was playing this game. So here's your kind of inventory.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see your codex basically.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
All of the historical characters, locations, and items. You can, from here, I don't know if you can bring up the map here. I think you can side scroll. You've got right bumper and left trigger to cycle through all of the various tabs.
There we go. Right, okay.
So and I think you can zoom out to get a bigger picture of the entire map.
How do you zoom out? Full screen. There we go.
Now this is just Skalitz.
Now
there is
bumper.
there is a much bigger map that is obviously all shrouded right now.
So we're talking like get out of there and then come walking all the way down here. I love this kind of fog of war kind of, you don't know what's here.
No, there's lots of other towns and villages and locations.
Buy a bag of chocolate at market, collect the debt from Kunish, pick up the crossguard at the castle, buy ale. I thought you were going to teach me how to sword fight, you tosspot.
He's not going to teach you how to sword fight.
I would just love, I would live in this game.
But there is a character that you can go to and get your basic sword training, and then once you get past the tutorial, once you do the first mission, and the first mission in this game, for real, is called Run. And like I said earlier, this town, if you're aware of your history, this entire town is burnt to the ground by the Cumans when they invade. They kill almost everybody, and then your first mission is to run away.
What's the? I'm guessing B.
Because you can't fight.
Yeah, B's the spring.
You cannot fight to save the town. Like, you just die. And even when you're running away, the enemy will come at you with horseback archers.
Oh shit! She's like,
she's waiting to get to that well.
That's how I spend my day. Just put the bucket down, and sit on the thing. She's gonna be there for a while.
It's kind of got that Negan kind of slant.
It's a strange time, strange and illumined. But
one thing I've got to say about this game is that all the NPCs kind of feel like they almost feel alive. They've all got their daily routines. They all eat. They all sleep. They all bathe. I've seen footage of somebody who's kind of gone around and collected like 100 bits of armor and then dropped it in the middle of the town square.
Nice.
And all of the townspeople went over to it and went, "Oh, somebody's given me something. Oh, somebody's dropped this on the ground." And they just start putting it in their pockets.
Nice.
They'll keep it in their inventory for the rest of the game.
How much charcoal do I need to pick up?
Well, you need 10 for your dad, and right now you've got no money, so you can't buy anything.
I gotta go collect the debt from so and so to be able to.
But like I said, you got to be careful because the town drunk in this game will kick your ass. If you bring up your HUD again, and we'll just have a quick look at the skills you can you can get in the game.
What was that, the codex?
Yeah, so if you go to player,
Right.
so you can see your main level is 1, and as you develop your strength, agility, vitality, speech, charisma, all of those are skills that you upgrade. Now, if you break them down, you can also get perks.
Ooh.
So right now, if you press the Y button, you can kind of get an example of what each of these perks do.
Yeah.
Now, quite a few of the perks, it kind of goes into the role-playing mechanic as to some perks that give you bonuses in one stat and then take away points in another stat. So you're kind of trying to build your character. I kind of got away, with building a jack of all trades. At the end of the game, my main level was 20, which was the max level.
Yeah.
And I kind of maxed out sword play, agility, strength, and everything else. Because you can also see him go into combat. There's lots of different abilities, different weapon skills.
Different skills. Skill at drinking.
Yeah. You can become an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And you can become dependent on alcohol.
That would be the one I'd be pickpocketing and lockpicking the shit out of y'all.
You say that. Now, I almost stopped playing this game because the lock-picking mechanic, it broke me, Ian.
Oh, yeah, but you ain't got no skill there, man. You're stealth. You break stuff. You have to remember, Ian, it's not your player skill. No.
It is Henry. Yeah, your character is a klutz.
That you have to develop.
You will break 50 lockpicks before you start breaking locks.
Been there, done it, man. I didn't like I said. I'm thinking very much like Skyrim at the moment with this, and I love Skyrim so much that when your level of lockpicking was so low at that point, you broke those little sticks time and time again, all the time. But then after a while, sticking to it, you build that skill up, and after a while, you start to break less and less, and you start to open more and better locks.
The lockpicking mini game in this game is really obtuse. Like it is.
What is it?
It is. I mean, you kind of have you use both the analog sticks.
One
to the sweet spot, where it glows gold, and then the other analog stick you move around in a anti-clockwise circle, whilst moving the sweet spot analog stick with the other controller. But whilst you're trying to keep the sweet spot there, the game is dragging it to the center of the screen. So you need to keep moving both analog sticks in one fluid motion. Now that destroyed. On a controller, on an Xbox or a PlayStation controller, that mini game is almost unplayable. Even when you level up your lockpicking to max, lockpicking is broken on the console.
Oh.
Literally, I played this game on PC with a controller.
Yeah.
When it came to the lockpicking, I grabbed the keyboard and mouse, and I broke every lock straight away.
Nice.
It is just
easier.
It's not just
with
easier.
The buttons and the mouse.
It is broken on a console. Trying to do the lock-picking minigame on a controller, it is broken. You just can't do it. Even when you max out lock-picking, trying to do the very hard locks, you can't do it. I could not. I gave up. I literally had to watch tutorials online to figure out how to do it successfully. And and they reinforce the fact that you need to just keep practicing. You need to go and buy 100 lockpicks and just keep practicing until your lockpicking skill is high enough, and then you have a chance.
That's all I was hearing then. When you were saying that, it's like, you can't do it. I'm like, no. There.
Ian, I'm saying this to you now. You've not played the game with a controller and tried to lockpick.
No, I know, and I'm not denying that. What I'm saying, as a gamer myself, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
If I was playing this, is the lockpicking doesn't work. It's broken, but I would be in the situations where this world is thriving, and it only progresses when I carry on the side quests and the missions. Yeah, so I would be living in this world.
Yes, and it is a simulator in that regard.
And when you live in a world that you want to do something, you just gotta stick to it, and that's what I would do. I would just keep sticking to it. I'd buy 100 lockpicks, 200 lockpicks, 500 lockpicks, and then after a while, I'd be like, I've spent all that money on lockpicks and it was pointless. But hey, got my lockpick skill to max. What shall I do next? I'll do my mace, my sword, my axe, my shield, my stamina.
But you're looking at investing a ton of time just leveling up Henry to make him.
It's an RPG.
Just to try and help him survive longer in this world.
Yeah, exactly. You put 92 hours into yours.
Yeah.
I'm like,
or more. I lost count.
Yeah. I mean that's the save. Yes. That's what the save says.
Well, speaking of the saves in this game, is that in order to manually save your game, you need to purchase in-game items to save the game. You cannot if you press start now, Ian.
Yeah.
Save game is blanked out.
You have no saver snaps. Yeah, I
Yes.
saw one of them at home, and I was like, oh, because the hardcore mode said you can only do it if you're in bed, or if you've got a saver snaps.
When you sleep at night, the game creates a save for you.
Yeah.
It's like a checkpoint save.
Boom! Oh, sorry, villager.
But this is a sort of game where you can go 4 hours in.
Where's Dutch's house?
You accidentally get into a combat. You get skewered by
Yeah.
this bastard with a fucking giant sword.
Yep.
You're dead. Like, you're going back 4 hours. All that progress gone.
Yeah, been there.
This game is so satisfying and so rewarding. I've not felt like my characters, any character I've played's progression more than I felt in this game. And that was so rewarding when, like I said at the beginning, when I'm shooting an arrow at a rabbit, point blank range, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
60 hours later, and I've got a task to go out and hunt 2 deer, 1 boar, and 30 rabbits. I'm just like, bang, bang, bang,
because
bang,
you took the time.
map. I took the time to level up Henry, so that he was super proficient to the point where I ended up being, I ended up becoming the game warden, for the lords of the region. It was so satisfying. Now, the main storyline of the game is kind of broken up into 3 acts. The first act is where everything happens, but it's about 5 hours really until Henry's out in the world on his own. And then from there, you're going to be doing side missions, learning about the history, being introduced to all these very interesting characters before the third act kind of got really interesting, and then it was over, and I was just like, I really didn't want it to be over.
No, that's it. That's why you stop with the main missions after a while, and you just go, I want to explore the world.
I delayed playing the Outer Worlds for 2 weeks because I was still playing this game.
Yeah, I know.
And I didn't want to put it behind me.
We said at the time, I said as soon as you stop playing one, you're not going to go back to the other.
Well, it's the fact that I didn't want to go from this really grounded, realistic, historically accurate game to funny, space adventures. I was just like, and then I didn't want to then come back from space adventures back to this game. It would just feel, I would be discombobulated from the effect.
Yeah, and the controls are different. The savings aspects are completely different.
Yeah,
I'm just going back to what you were saying earlier about games are so much more rewarding now. I find when they are so challenging that you think that they're broken.
Yeah.
But they're not broken. You just have to stick to it. Some games are really broken, but that's broken when you go walking into it. When we were talking about this game and you were telling me about this world and you were saying, oh man, you're playing Red Dead Redemption, you should be playing this. I knew that if I played this, I would give up on Red Dead and I would live in this world.
People have said this game is Red Dead Redemption with swords instead of guns.
Yeah, first person medieval,
Yes.
And and I think what also is so beautiful about it as well is it's so realistic. Unlike Skyrim, which, like we said, is a great game, and some other RPGs,
that's fantasy.
Those are fantasy.
So you get all those monsters.
These are so much more realistic. I feel like I'm going to get into a fight now, and I still don't even know what buttons.
There is a fist fight coming.
Yeah, what my block is or things like that, and I could die in a minute and get my head kicked in. But a part of me's like, you know what? That's Henry number 6 done. How's Henry number 7 going?
So you're about to get into a fight now.
Okay.
So at least now it's a one-on-one kind of fight. And your friend there is also helping in the fight. But, thankfully this is still tutorial mode. You don't have a health bar or a stamina bar yet.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But you do have, you literally have damage in the bottom of the screen there. You can see one of the icons has turned up, which says you've taken punishment.
Beat the fuck out of him. Fuck this. Oh, I can't. No.
Now, I do like in the game...
I'm punching it right today, Mum and Dad.
The quests in this game are non-linear, so you can literally wander around the world and pick up side quests, and you'll have the main quest, and you can kind of do them in any order that you want. You kind of do them how you want as well. There are so many different ways to complete missions, and that is one of the the great things. It's one of the reasons why I love Outer Worlds. It goes back to the Deus Ex games.
Yeah.
It's
shit! There's guard there. Oh shit!
Oh, you just surrender. You're bleeding.
Oh, I surrender.
Hold left bumper and A. You've not surrendered yet.
Oh man.
Your path and hardcore mode.
I'm
has
sorry,
come to an
Mr. and
untimely
Mrs.
end.
Blacksmith, but we had to kill your
Requiesce
son
in
today.
peace.
He punched a woman in the face. It's like, oh shit.
It's-
yeah. There is no load.
There's
is there?
no.
There's no load. is there?
This game is not going to be generous with you.
Ooh, I've died in childbirth again. It's a terrible fever. Oh, we're going to do that. I died again. Young Miller's daughter liked to take a shotgun in winter, but once the ice wasn't thick enough, and you instinctively jumped in after her. I love these little
Of the art,
stories.
the animations, yeah.
because they're all different. It's not like you died. It's like
There's
you
a
know?
little story behind it.
wow.
So yeah, there is a lot of multiple choice in the dialogue, in the way that you complete missions. I love the leveling up perk system.
Yeah.
Really feel the progression from peasant to knight. You know, and even wonder like my first day of this game, I got arrested because when I was in the town.
You got arrested. I got killed.
You got killed. I got arrested and thrown in jail, and all my stats reset because I spent so much time in jail because I was walking around at night without a torch lit, which is illegal. You know?
You have to look at 15th century
You
law
Lord.
just to be able to complete a game.
Yeah.
Like, shit, man, do I wear socks today or not? Oh, shit. What day is it? The game tells you it's Sunday and you have to go to church.
Certain characters won't even talk to you if you've not bathed.
Yeah,
you know, 'cause,
I
like,
read
you stink
that
of
somewhere.
shit. Like, get
Yeah.
away from me. You
Yeah.
know? But then when you're walking around in knight's armor towards the end of the game, and everyone's like, "Oh, you know, why are you talking to me like you're a lord?" You know, and they're intimidated by you.
Nice.
You'll get into certain fights with characters, and they'll just put their sword on the ground and go, "Nope, I ain't fighting you. You scared the shit out of me."
See, that's what I would do. I would grow up to be a knight, and then
Yeah.
I would just literally go, fuck the end of the game. I'm going out into the world, and
Yeah.
do I want to massacre this village today?
Right,
Yeah, you know what?
you can do that if you
I'm gonna
want
do
to.
that.
You know, and the town will be empty for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
There is a reputation system in the game, so you'll go into a town and be like, "Oh, Henry's come to see us! Like, welcome, Henry! Jesus Christ be praised!"
Can you get black armor?
You can get black armor, and obviously black armor will help you kind of going incognito for when you're going on super stealth, sneak, lockpicking, burglary raids. Because there are quest givers in the game that are like, go and loot this necklace from this lord.
Yeah.
There's armed guards everywhere, and if you're sneaking around in the shadows in black armor, they might not see you.
I will be the black
You
knight.
level up your stealth mode, and you'll be able to walk around at people in the middle of the night, and they won't see you at all. But then if you get into a fight where you're wearing stealth armor,
Yeah.
a couple of sword pokes and you're dead.
Oh yeah, totally,
You know?
totally. That's why you hammer him in the back of the head as you're walking.
So you've kind of got to think about the character you want to play, how you're playing it, and what you're trying to pull off at the level of experience that Henry is at.
Mate, what you would do is you'd play the main story like to where you are towards the end of the game, get your levels up, then go back out into the world, leaving the end game where it is, and just live your character. Like, I'm imagining right now getting the stealth value up, getting the black armor, getting your sword stuff out, and then going to a village like this, and then each night just killing a person and throwing their body into the well.
You can get the perk where you can auto kill them in their sleep. If they're in their bed, you just slit their throats,
and then just sit there in the house of the woman and wait for the NPC to wake up and be like, "Where's my husband?" Be like, "I'm your husband now."
yeah. There are so many unique things going on in this game that you kind of learn about the complexities of the game's mechanics that the game doesn't tell you are there. You kind of figure it out as you're going, and you're like, "Oh wow, this is actually in the game, and I didn't realize this." Where there was, all of the town's guards, they all eat from one pot. You can go and pick the herbs, concoct a poison, put it in the brew, come back an hour later, and all the guards are dead because they all drank from the same poison pot. The game doesn't tell you can do that.
No.
It's just in there for you to figure out, and so there's a bandit camp that I died multiple times. I just went in there and poisoned them all, killed them all for it.
I was waiting for it to back horse right into me and figured that could be another way to die. But...
One of the reasons...
Oh shit! Oh shit! Run! Run! I punched the guy's horse! No! Okay, I surrender! Stop! I'm sorry.
Well, that's actually your sword instructor as well. You do not want to get into a fight with him.
I'm really sorry, dude. I'm really sorry.
Or is it? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's Combat Master Velet.
Yeah, it is, yeah. He's the first guy you'll have.
Oh shit, they're coming to kill me! Run!
Oh, no. Surrender.
Hold left bumper and A. Left bumper and A. I've surrendered.
Oh my word.
Not your lucky day, you fucker. You were seen attacking other people's and now you'll pay for it. I just punched a horse in the ass.
Oh, you're gonna have to pay the fine. You ain't even got any money. I don't have any money. See, I live in the bottom left corner there. You can see your speech skill, your combat skill, and your
I've been
reputation.
given a secret task.
I don't think they're gonna buy it.
No, totally not. But this is why obviously you build.
But once you develop your speech skill and your charisma skill, guards will be like, "Oh, okay, then I'll believe you."
Run away! Run away! Run away!
Oh, no.
Run away!
For those of you watching, this is how not to play the game.
Can I jump up on the roof? Can I jump up on the roof?
You kind of can.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that.
Now,
run away!
I'll be honest, in the game that there are one-on-one combat in this game. I loved the one-on-one combat. One versus many combat, I absolutely hated. It didn't feel right. It felt broken.
Yeah.
To the point where when I was one versus many combat, I would literally get onto an elevated position like a roof or a barrel
and kill everyone.
where the enemies couldn't hit me, and I would just pick them off with a bow because I'm like, I can't fight you all. I've got 4 hours since my last save.
Yes.
I'm not dying now, so I'm going to cheese it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I hate the fact that I had to cheese it. But one versus many combat didn't work. When the battle sequences are happening, where there's a siege of a castle and there's multiple fights breaking out everywhere,
You gotta be careful.
No, you're fine.
Oh, really?
Like, because you've got a wall of allies in the fight.
Yeah.
You know, you can kind of attack enemies that are trying to attack somebody else.
Just imagining Dad right now. He's like, "What happened? Have you woken
I said
Henry
you
up?"
to go and get my charcoal and hand grip. I'm trying to build this sword because Lord Radsick of Kabbalah is about to come round.
But if I never get
my
the
son's now
sword,
in jail.
then the Cumans never kill my family.
No, all this will just kind of wait now until you get out.
What's he doing over there? He's just in prison.
Got a better chance of producing another Henry in this time. Henry!
We're gonna get you out now, son.
Now, this game, when it came out, obviously it was heavily praised by those that love a good RPG, and it was heavily slated by those that wanted just an easy kind of hand-holded experience.
Ugh.
But this game also shipped, it was 7 years in development, you know, from its original conception to it actually being released.
Are they attacking now?
I think the actual town might be.
Yeah, they're on the.
Whilst you're in the...
I was thinking that. Wouldn't that be great if while I'm in prison it happens?
There are so many mechanics in this game.
The game's just gone its hardcore mode. You don't get to. Oh, I've died in jail. I burned to death in that first quest.
Congratulations. See, these are secret achievements. I didn't even know were in the game here.
Well, I just have skill, man. I always love getting new achievement. New game!
Oh, jeez.
I've died again. Nightmares and Tom and Burn and continue.
The game shipped with a ton of bugs, game-breaking bugs.
It seems
bugs where, you know, guards would spawn with these weapons, and then when they went, you know, their shift finished, and they would just drop the weapon on the floor. So after 30 hours of playing the game, there's a stockpile of this weapon on the floor, and the game's keeping track of them all. But as a result of keeping track of all these weapons that have been scattered across the landscape of the entire map, the game slows down and stops working.
Right.
The textures of environments, you go into a town, none of the buildings are there, none of the people are there, and then all of a sudden they just start popping in one after another.
When I was walking down that bit, I was thinking the women aren't at the well. Is that supposed to be like the game, or is that the game just not loading up a feature?
No, I mean the person is waiting for the other person to bring the bucket up.
Yeah, no, but on the second time I walked down that, they weren't there at all, so I wasn't too sure if they
just hadn't
spawned.
got there yet. They're doing their daily routine, so it's. That's one of the things you have to get used to, is that you want to go to a trader. You know, he only turns up at his store at like 3. You know, he turns up at 11 o'clock in the morning and then goes home at 3 in the afternoon. Like, that's your only window to trade.
It's the only
with him.
window. You got to go there. Yeah.
And like, you get used to the personalities of the different traders. Most of them turn up for work at 9 in the morning and leave at 5.
Yeah.
For some, you know, part timers. Yeah. You know, you need to learn how to repair your weapons, your durability of your armor.
Yeah.
You need to bathe regularly, eat and sleep. All those things. But like I said, the game was full of bugs where you would fall through the floor, where you would all of a sudden you'll interact with an alchemy station and fly through the roof and then float above the land and then drop and die.
I mean, if it was a perfect life simulator of 15th century fucking England or wherever,
of Europe, it's the Czech Republic, Bohemia.
you know, yeah, everything you're seeing in the game actually does happen, has happened, will happen. You know, kids die of scarlet fever and have brittle bones, and their parents, you know, the dialogue sequences I've just had with Mum, I've pissed her off by saying certain things. Now her relationship with me is going to be completely different. Yeah, you know, I might turn into
the choices that you make will affect conversation and the way characters interact with you later.
Yeah, I might turn into a great swordsman and be able to kill everything I get into combat with, but then I'm living with a reputation when I go into a town later on that they go, it's the mass killer from that town.
Right,
you know?
Yeah, and they will run and flee from you.
Run and flee.
And alert the guards.
You know, it sounds amazing.
Iain,
you know,
this game is amazing.
But that's why it's got the bugs.
Yeah, I mean,
in my experience, anything that is that good or trying too much,
they had to get the game out eventually.
After
all the years of development.
Totally.
Now,
glad they have.
I didn't play this game on release. I only discovered this game this year. I heard about the problems with the game, but I also heard the love for the game was there, and I was like, I'm going to give it some time. Then I'll pick it up and play it.
Then you got it's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass now, which is how I was like, okay, I can play this. I'm going to give it a go. And I'm so glad I did, because a lot of those bugs have been fixed.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of them. It's been patched a lot. So I didn't really have many game-breaking bugs. There was a moment, like one of my favourite parts of the game was going into the monastery. You know, I had to go into the monastery and find out who the killer was amongst all the initiates. Being an initiate himself.
Nice.
You know, you discard all your armour and weapons and you go in there in your robes. You know, and you have to then adopt the life cycle of a priest, of a monk, where you had to get up at 3 a.m. to go to mass. Then you had to go and eat with the other brothers, because the moment you did things out of line, they'd take your robes off you and kick you out of the monastery. Quest botched. You know, the only way you're getting.
You are not the monk kind of guy, dude.
But I did. I feel like, you know, I spent like 3 to 6 hours doing this one side quest, like living the lifestyle of a monk. You know, trying to figure out who the murderer was.
Don't you ever judge me again on Red Dead Redemption. You're like, dude, I had to live as a monk for 6 hours.
This game did more for me as a game than many other games have done in my entire lifetime of playing video games.
Yeah. And I ain't even got past this opening village. It's amazing.
And so I was kind of glad that I didn't get to see all those issues and problems that the game had, but I got to see it while it was fixed. And I kind of had a love affair with this game. I really did. I really enjoyed the executioner quest line, where this, you know, the executioner, it's his job, but somebody's come along and is kind of taking the job away from him. So the executioner asks you to go and make sure that he looks a fool when he executes this person or these 3 people. So I went and took the executioner's sword and blunted it. I went and took the hangman's rope and gave him this frail old rope, so that when he came to do all these executions, when he went to cut the guy's head off, it took him like 7 hits to decap this guy because I blunted his sword.
That's like Hitman style shit.
Yes,
there, man.
Absolutely. There's so many interesting quests in this game that you kind of, you know, coming from The Witcher, I'm like, you know, I want to go kill the Manticore. Like, where's the succubus at? You know, I'm like, none of that. This is all grounded in reality. And so a lot of people have gone, oh, the quests are just fetch quests. Like,
that's what life is. A bunch of fucking fetch quests.
But then you get to come to the bar and then play dice. And, you know, I sucked at dice. I lost the first amount of groschen I'd earned from the first side quest. Because that's your girlie.
Yeah, I'm going to see my girlfriend.
You know, and I'd lost all my money playing dice. But then later on, I went and got a lucky dice. And then I got a loaded dice. And then I went and played dice. And I was cheating.
Nice.
I was winning everybody's money. You know... The game has had 3 or 4 DLCs since it's come out. I've not played any of the DLC yet, but I really want to, because I really want to come back to this world. And I just think it's sad that, you know, the Metacritic score is pretty good. It's got a 76 out of 100 on PC, but a 68 and 69 on the console version. I put that down to the lockpicking mechanic on the console version.
Yeah.
You know, people didn't want to play it. You know, EGM magazine gave the game a 3 out of 10. IGN gave the game an 8 out of 10. Game Informer gave the game a 6 out of 10. You know, it varies from literally 2 to 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
it depends on your experience as a gamer, whether it was a journalist kind of picking up the game going, I've got 5 hours to play this game, then I've got to do my review for it because I've also got to go and review X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't get the
no, you got to live this shit.
And some people go, well, if you're not getting the feel out of a game after 5 hours, you know, and you've got to spend
where's he gone?
30 hours to get, you know, to get to grips with the game, like, what's the point? I'm like, it's an immersive experience, and this game offers me one similar to what Red Dead did, but much more grounded in even more reality.
Where are you running to? Everyone's running. Let's run!
And I'm so glad that this game won multiple Game of the Year awards. It was nominated and it won many other awards. It sold eventually more than 2 million copies. It's received numerous accolades, in which I believe it's really well deserved.
They did it! I told my friends that I wasn't going to throw the shit at the house, so they went and did it anyway. So, you know.
So I there's so many interesting characters, like those guys, those friends of yours.
Yeah.
They actually survive the attack on Skillets, and you'll catch up with them again later on.
Nice.
But you know, and your friendship evolves and changes, and your characters and your perspective on other characters will change. Ian, I could ramble on and keep talking about this game for another hour, but we're going over time. And I just want to say, if you are even remotely interested or have seen anything that appeals to you in this game, give it a go. Give it a chance. Give it 20 hours.
Yeah, minimum of 20 hours at least.
Exactly. And you might grow to love this game. I will say this. If you've played this game, you will be scarred for the rest of your life in either a positive or a negative way. You'll either bash your head against the wall because of the lock-picking mechanic, because of how stupid Henry is at absolutely anything that you've taken for granted in other games.
But technically you're Henry as well, so
exactly,
you've got to
and
learn.
that's why I've grown to love Henry as a video game character, almost like none other. I will never ever forget my experience I've had with Kingdom Come Deliverance, and every so often I'm checking online, when's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2?
In the barn.
When's the next game? Because you've got my support, Warhorse Studios. You've enamored me with this game, and I didn't want to leave it, and I actually want to come back to this world. So thank you. And it's very rare that I actually want to thank a games developer for the experience they've given me. So with that, Ian, any final words?
Man, you know what? Like you said, when we first talked about this game, you know, and obviously everybody knows how much I fucking love Red Dead. Just escaping into a world,
right?
But as I'm getting older now, the world's got to be a kind of realistic for me to really stick to it.
Right.
You know, and then when I was talking to you about this game, I just knew that this game would take me from that. You know, I would live as a character in the 15th century, learning to play as a sword. Even just playing it on hardcore. You know, I was saying this to you when we did the Outer Worlds review as well, playing that on hardcore. That's another world I would get sucked into. And people might sit there going, yeah, but I just keep dying. It's a video game. You're going to keep dying.
The thing is, Outer Worlds, even on Supernova difficulty, is an arcadey experience compared to this.
That's why I haven't played Outer Worlds, because, you know, I'm like, it's not what I thought of this. This is what I was kind of wanting, and to learn, I'm not even doing the fucking missions. I'm looking at the world. This is what I would do. I would spend the first couple of hours looking around, making sure I know where all the escapes are, making sure I know where everything is. Even though this place is going to burn to the ground, the next village I go into, I need to remember where everything is. I'm looking at the map. My icons aren't popping up on the little compass at the top until I get closer.
You can go out into the world, Ian, and bring up the world map, and the game will not show you where you are.
Yeah,
like it won't tell you on survival mode. You need to learn where the towns are. So you need to know. Like you can't even see what northeast, southwest is right now.
No.
You know?
So if you're a gamer, you know,
you have to learn when the sun sets and the sun rises in order to orientate yourself. You know, so then you can get an idea of where north and east is.
That's going west.
Right? That's how you do this game.
That's north. That's probably north that way. Like if you're a gamer and you want a game, fucking play this one. It's hard and it's going to be challenging, but
it's going to be brutal.
The reward at the end of it will be worth it.
It really, really is. And so with that, I just want to say thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back next Friday to look at another video game. Of course, new film reviews on Thursdays. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Patreon. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Take it easy.